Good. Last, how you doing? Good. How about them Browns?
Byron, what are you hoping to see tomorrow? First exhibition game. Anything particular you're eye on?
Obviously a few things. I want to see how we defend, which is something that we've been talking about since day one. We want to continue to be a very good defensive team here. Number two, I want to see our continuity on the offensive end. I know these guys are going to compete and they're going to play hard, so that's not even a question. But I think those would be the first two things I'm going to be looking at. If we're defending the way that we talked about this whole week, again, some of my terminology and some of the things I like to do on certain things on the defensive end are a little bit different, so it's taking them a little time to get used to that. I want to see if that can come into play, and then obviously on the offensive end, we want to see if getting up and down the floor, is something that we've been stressing as well. We want to see if that comes into play as well.
So you want to share with us who's starting, Byron? Do you need it?
No, I don't. I don't as of right now. You know what? I would if I really knew. We got some guys that are a little beat up right now, so I'm really kind of going to go by how we all feel tomorrow, how the guys all feel tomorrow, because I got a lineup in mind, but it's going to be predicated on how a few of those guys feel.
Are you anticipating Antoine playing tomorrow?
I am. Antoine went through practice today and went the whole practice basically and did extremely well. And as soon as he got his free throws in, he wanted to get some more treatment to make sure he was okay. But he looked good today. A guy that, again, on both ends of the floor that understands what we're trying to do. So very pleased with the way he practiced today.
Is there anything Mo is still out, obviously?
Correct.
Everybody else are you expecting Andy?
Well, I can't say I'm expecting everybody else to play at this particular time. Again, it just kind of depends on tomorrow. In the way I'm going to do things tomorrow anyway, you got, whoever starts today, you probably got 5 or 6 guys off the bench. Everybody else won't play, and then those guys will play Thursday. So I give them ample time out on the floor. So, as of right now, again, like I said, after we go through, shoot around tomorrow morning, I have obviously a much better picture of how we're going to do it.
Injury-wise, though, everybody's okay?
Yeah, everybody's okay. But like I said, it's been, 5 or 6 days of good, hard practice, and guys are feeling it. They're feeling it. So it'll be good to play against somebody else tomorrow, obviously, and to see where we are. And I think that gives us a way of kind of evaluating where we are, and we can kind of go from there.
Is there any timetable for Andy to be back, or do you have any idea?
Not really. I think he's supposed to be back sometime this week again. We understand the sensitivity of this matter as well. I mean, Andy lost somebody that was very important in his life. So again, there's no real timetable on when he's coming back. We want to make sure that he's completely healthy, mentally as well as physically when he does come back.
How close is Anga to playing regularly in the NBA? Is he quite a bit away yet?
He's still a little bit away. He made a good analysis this morning. He said people compare him to Petrus, in Orlando. And my son said, yeah, but you don't guard like Petrus. and I told him that's how you got to get on the floor. You got to guard like Petrus, basically. And I think, again, the language barrier is a little bit of a difficult part, but he's starting, I think, to understand some things. But again, he's a guy with so much talent, so much athleticism. If we can get him to really understand on the defensive end what he has to do every single night, he'll be a good player in this league.
Do you expect him to play in the D-League this year? I'm
not ruling that out, but I'm not also saying that he's going to do that as well. I want him up here with us. I think that's the best way right now for him to learn, to go against this type of competition. He's going against, Jamario Moon and Joey Graham and all those guys. He's going against Anthony Parker every day. So I think right there is probably the best way for him to learn right now. But if it gets to a point where we feel that he needs to just get some playing in, then obviously that's a choice we'll have to make later.
Because offensively, he's kind of behind.
Offensively, he's not behind as much. I mean, he has a good understanding on the offensive end what to do with the ball. He just doesn't have a great understanding on where to go, if that makes sense. I mean, we all talk about spacing. Sometimes he's crowded. He crowds guys with the ball. And like a lot of young players today, he chases the ball. at times, so his spacing gets kind of bad. So, all those things are just things every day that we're working on with him, trying to get him a little bit more familiar with what we're doing, and trying to get him more comfortable as well.
Would you say he's your most athletic player?
Yeah, he's got some freaky athleticism.
You still keep in touch with Coach Brown, I assume?
I do. Yeah. I do. LB is one of my best friends. He's a guy, again, that somebody who I can talk to about this game and a lot of other things. So he's always available. It seems like when I call, he gets mad at me. He said when I don't return his calls. So I got to do a better job of that. But yeah, somebody who I stay in touch with, talk to during the summer. We try to get together at least some point in time in the summer, where we're face to face and just talking about basketball and life in general.
Have you talked to him since you took this job?
Yeah. And I spent a couple of days with him in Chicago when we had the coaching meeting, so we got a chance to kind of catch up and talk about some things and ask him about some players and things. The normal thing that I do with him, because I know I can, bend his ear a little bit and get some information from him. But yeah, I've talked to him a number of times already.
It's going to be nice to see how some of the stuff you're putting in works against somebody other than yourself.
Yeah, I am. I'm just looking forward to us playing somebody else. Besides guys out there beating each other up, at least they get a chance to go against a different color jersey, which is, to me, kind of exciting. And I'm pretty sure most of our guys are kind of anxious to see how things are going to work as well. Again, we still got a lot of work to do. We got a long way to go, but the progress right now, the last couple of days have been much better. And I know it's tough on them because I know they're, this is something that a lot of these guys haven't done. They haven't had a training camp like this, in a while. So, I commend them on how hard they've worked, and they've been able to, stay focused and stay in tune with what we're trying to do, So, I'm very proud of them. So I'm anxious to see how it goes tomorrow as well.
Friday night you seemed a little unhappy with how things went, but Saturday you seemed a little bit more upbeat. Booby was saying yesterday he thinks guys are turning the corner. What happened over the weekend that kind of the light go on for these guys over the weekend?
I think a little bit of it did. Again, I wasn't real happy with Friday because I didn't think on the offensive end we wasn't getting up and down the floor like I wanted to. I thought guys were in that jogging pattern, and I thought a lot of it was because they're tired. But again, that's an excuse to me, So I thought the next day, just me trying to let them know how I felt and what we want to try to achieve. The next day, practice was much better. Yesterday was much better, and today was much better. So I think they have turned the corner, so to speak. And I've taken away some of the freedom on the offensive end as far as where we should be. I've kind of put some structure into it, and that's the one thing I wanted to do is give us a lot of freedom. But at times I think, these guys have been so programmed over the years of doing this and that you probably have to say, okay, 2, you're going to do this, 3, you're going to do this, and then we're going to play out of it. It made it a little bit, I think, more structured for them, which I think made it a little bit easier for them. In the last 2 days, that's what they've at least shown me.
Does that mean you pull back a little bit of the running and more into the...
No, I didn't pull back any of the running. Okay. It was just getting a little bit more structured out of the running. And I thought at times, anybody who's played basketball knows when you get a rebound, and you're trying to fill a lane, you got a guy pushing the ball, you got a wing runner on the right and a wing runner on the left. At times we had 2 wing runners on the same side. So I said, all right, we're going to change it up. This guy, you're going to run this lane, you're going to run this lane every single time. And when we did that in practice the last 2 days, guys did it great. So, again, it's just a matter of me taking away a little bit of freedom and putting a little bit more structure in it. But again, I have to learn the personnel, and that's what I'm doing right now.
Is this tougher in the camps you ran at New Orleans and New Jersey?
It's about the same. I think, but over the years in New Orleans, guys got used to it, so they understood what was coming. These guys, it's the first time that we've all been together, so they're not used to this type of pounding every single day. Like Mary keeps saying, they're expecting a day off somewhere. So.
Is there one coming anytime soon?
Excuse me?
Do you have a day off?
One of these days, I just can't tell you when yet. I don't know. Again, we're still learning each other, and I'm sure I wouldn't say they're filling me out as much as I'm filling them out. And when I get to the point where I feel it's pretty good, guys are getting it. We turn that corner again, and I can start adding some more stuff to it. Then we might have a day off. But right now, we still got a lot of work to do.
Do you have to give them a day off?
No, I don't think I do.
When the season starts, you do, right?
I don't know. I don't read that rule book part. That day off stuff, I don't really, I'll just say, Stu, I didn't read that. I'm sorry. Give me a break. Maybe I have to go back and look at the book on when they get days off right now. But I don't look at that right now.
You said your son's here. Is he helping you coach?
Yeah, my son's one of my developmental coaches.
What's his name?
Thomas. He was with me in New Orleans as well. So.
Is that him down there?
Yeah, that's him messing with Christian.
Okay. So he'll be here all year with you?
Yeah, he'll be here all year.
I didn't know.
All right. Thanks, guys.